Okay, so I'm back with the sewing tutorial of our heavily beaded ashwabi lace dress with lace placement. Okay, so remember I promised us that I was going to drop a tutorial for the sewing, the lace placement on the upper part and the down part. I promised I was going to carry you along, right? So I'm here with it. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming. And if you are coming across my channel, you are highly welcome. So I am Mercy and this is Mercy Posh Stitches. On this channel I drop sewing tutorials weekly, DIYs and all of that. So that is what I do here. And for this tutorial I've already dropped the drafting part and it's already on my channel. If you didn't watch the drafting part, drop a comment for me on the comment section and I'm going to link you to the video, or you can just check my channel and you'll see it. So what I did here is I went on to cut everything on my fabric. As for the lace, I cut it on the satin fabric, my lining piece, everything. I cut out the lace accordingly and everything accordingly. So I'm going to use my lining piece to turn the satin piece for my skirt that is going to serve as the base, and I'm going to carry along on the sewing, especially the upper part, the front part, because that is where most of the work is. The skirt part is not a big issue as it's just a normal pencil skirt, so I know most of us know how to join it. So this is my paper that I cut out and added my allowance accordingly. So when I went for fabric shopping, I couldn't get the exact fabric I wanted for this upper part, so I ended up getting Mikado fabric, because it was only on Mikado fabric that I was able to get a matching color for my lace. Okay, so what I'm using here is my Mikado fabric. So what I did here, I match up the under busts, the center front and the side front of the under bust. That's what I did. I match it up and I'm joining it from the upper part, that is from the neckline, the overbust part of the neckline. So I'm joining with half of an inch, which was the exact allowance I added when I was cutting on my when I was cutting from my paper, okay, to my main fabric. So I am joining it here, and just pay attention to the way I am joining it so that you learn in case you don't know how to do this. So you're just going to sew it according to the shape. Okay, follow it according to the shape while ensuring that you maintain the half-inch joining allowance. That is what I did here, and I will go on to repeat the same thing on this other part. I'll pick the second part and I'll match up the underbust. That is where this thing is, the emphasis should be on the other bust. Once you match up the underbust, the next thing you're going to do is to join. Even if sometimes the hem like this is not exactly matched or perfectly matched up, but as long as you secure the underbust, you are good to go. That is where uh the place that matters. So I went on to join also with my 0.5-inch allowance, and I'm going to open it up for you. Now note that I didn't gum any este or wording on this Mikado fabric because it is my main fabric. It's going to be the base for the half length, right? So I'm going to be doing all my gumming, my este, my wording, everything on my lining piece, and I'm using satin fabric as my lining piece. Okay, so take note of that. I'm also going to sew my boning and also bust cage on the lining piece. So the only thing I did on the main fabric here is to join it fabric to fabric, to join them on each other. I didn't gum anything to it. Okay, so here is what we have, and as you can see, it's giving the beauty of a bustier vibe already. So I'll go ahead and open irons and bring in the lining piece, which is my satin fabric that I've gone everything to. But before I did that, I went on to turn the back parts, that is the back parts, with my satin, and I forgot my hammer at home. So this was what I used to break the needles around the lines where I'll be sewing. I use my screwdriver, the head, I chisel out the boning around the dart line and the side as well, and I went on to turn with my lining piece. So I'm going to join them to the skirt part after turning the skirt part also. So this is the skirt part, and I sew my dart. So I'm just going to place it to it like this, and make sure they are staying right side facing right side, and I will join. So this one is my lining piece. Like I said, I added my stay, I got my stay to it, my wardrobe, and I went on to join them with half of an inch, just the same way I did the main fabric. And I'm marking the lines where I'll be sewing boss cage into it. I just want to cage it, okay, not much. I want to cage it some places, not too much caging, because I know my client will not want it if it's much caged. Okay, so here I have my skirt part, and I'm going to be joining it. I'll turn all the side with my lining piece. So I was done doing that, and I went on to also cage my lining piece like I said, and sew my boning accordingly the way I want it. I sew all my bonings to my lining piece. So what I'm going to do now is to go on and use my lining piece to turn the neckline on my main fabric. But before I do that, I'm going to be joining the yoke to it. So this yoke, I turned only the side of the neckline. I didn't turn the downside, the upside, or the armhole side, only the neckline. That's what I turned on my lining piece. So I'm going to be placing it like this, ensuring that it's sitting exactly or very close to the dart line. Okay, that is what I'm doing here, and I am securing with my lining piece, with my pins. Sorry, I'm securing it with my pins. So I'll place it and secure with my pins on this other side as well, after which I am going to stitch it down. Okay, so that is what I am doing here. I am pinning it down to secure it properly. Then after which I'll grab my lining piece. Okay, so I was done sewing the yoke to the neckline, as you can see, and here is my lining piece. I went on to use it to turn it. So after turning it, I neatly top stitched. You can see it, I neatly top stitched to the lining piece. Please take note of that. You're going to top stitch, and I didn't have fiber, so I used my stay and my hemming gum to cover all the boning on the caging, so that it doesn't look rough or spoil the look of our bustier cup. So this is what I have. I'm going to give it a very good press, and I'll show you what we have. I'll also turn all the side with my lining piece, the side of the front. So that is what I did, and after giving it a very good press, you can see what I have. So if you don't have fiber, go on to use your stay, generous amount of stay, and your hemming gum to hem it. So this is the skirt part of the front. I went on to turn all the side, my lining piece and the downside, and I also sew my dart like I already mentioned. Okay, so now it's time for me to join the skirt part with the upper part of the front. So picking my tape, I am going to measure from my shoulder to my half length, that is the waistline for the front, and I'm going to mark like this, and I repeat the same process on this part as well. So I will measure and mark into a straight line, and there is where I'm going to be placing the skirt part. Okay, so I've been using this method and it worked for me. If you don't have mannequin that is the size of your clothes you're making, just ensure that you iron the upper part properly, iron the skirt part also properly, and lay it completely flat on a table. Then place it like this and secure with your pin. Just make sure that everything is neatly ironed to avoid ruffling and giving you another vibe entirely. So I want us to place it exactly on the half length line, and I secured with my pins. Okay, I secured properly with my pins, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is to pick more pins and I secure all the lines, all the sides, everywhere that needs more pins. I am just going on to secure it properly. So after securing it properly, I went on to get the midpoint on the skirt part. That's the midpoint of the front on the skirt part, and I'm going to use my ruler to connect it. So measuring from one dart to the other dart, I divided into two, and that is my center front, that is the straight part. I'll place my ruler like this and I'm going to connect. So what I'm trying to achieve here is my basque waist. Okay, so I went on to connect again from my waist to the basque line that I marked, and this initial line I mark, I'll mark another line half inch away from this initial line. That is where I'll be cutting through, so that by the time I hem, I will arrive at the initial line. So I went on to cut through on the half allowance line, and I'm going to cut a strip of fabric, use it to turn this upper part. That is what I love doing. I sometimes find it stressful folding it exactly on the main fabric, so I'm going to cut a strip and turn this upper part. After turning, I'll notch, top stitch and bring it back to pin it on the half length. So that is what I did. So let me remove the pin here and show you. So I cut a strip of lining and I use it to turn it. Can you see it? Can you see it? After which I sew the lining, and it was as in beautifully placed. Everything come out beautifully. So I will return all the pins, secure them with my pins properly. So please, if you must follow this process, ensure that you pin it neatly. By so doing, you will not have issue. So grabbing my curved needle, I am just going to start sewing. So please, you need curved needle for projects like this, for works like this. Okay, stitching your back waistline, your making lace uh placements, making dresses with lace placement, and sewing beaded dresses. So prior to now, I used to be somehow scared of beaded dresses, beaded fabrics, and all of that, like making an outfit with heavily beaded fabric. Do you get that? But after making this armor, is not that difficult. It's not difficult at all. It's not hard. So I went on to sew. It's easy. Please just give it a try. You'll see. So I went on to start sewing. As you can see, I kept on sewing, ensuring that it's neat. So I sew it in a way that you will not even see any thread around. You will not see any thread around. I ensure that everything is neatly secured and sewn inside. Is sewn on the inside. Okay, so you cannot see any thread outside. So you can see how flat everything is lying. You can see how cute it is. Them is very beautiful. So I'm going to get the back part and join the two shoulders, and that is what I just did. I also attach my zipper to the back part. Like, I finish up the back part as well, the same way I did the front part. Now it's time for me to take the measurement of my armhole, and I'm going to cut the sleeve. Okay, so like I mentioned, this is a cutting tutorial, right? If you have not watched the drafting tutorial, go ahead and watch the drafting tutorial so that you don't get confused. You'll be carried along, and you won't even be scared of making any fabric that is heavily beaded. Yes, in case someone brings a beaded fabric for you, heavily beaded like this, and ask you to make, you don't have any reason to be scared, as long as you'll be able to follow this process I use here, this process I'm following right now. I can assure you, honestly, you won't find it difficult at all. Okay, so all you need to do is pieces some of the needle around exactly where you be sewing for the part that need to be sewn. Then the other part, use lace placements to achieve it. It is very neat as well, and also less stressful. So I want you to connect in a sloppy film like this. You see the way I connected, and I'm going to measure it, ensuring that what I have will rhymes with what I have on my armhole. If it doesn't rhyme, if it's bigger, I'll reduce. If it's shorter, I will increase. So that is what I love doing. I love ensuring to measure until it gets to exactly what I need. So having said that and done that as well, I went on to mark the line. So what I'm going to do now is to measure the length of the sleeve. I'll measure overall length and divide into two to get the midpoint of the length, and that is here. So it means that from the beginning my sleeve is going to be fitted, then immediately it gets to the half length, it is going to become very flared because it's an A-line sleeve. Take note of that. So here I measured my round sleeve divided by 4, mark it here, and added just few allowance like 1.5 inch or 1 inch, depending on how stretchy your fabric or fabric you are working with is. So I went on to measure all my lines and I mark. So that is it. So I kind of got another chalk to make the line very visible to you. Okay, and I'm going to cut out, after which I will go on to hem the down and attach it to my main bodice. So I am cutting out and I'm going to be adding additional allowance to the down for my hem. Okay, so I'll be using this mesh part that I'm cutting now to hem the sleeve and attach it to the main bodice. So if you have watched this video to this point, please, I urge you to engage on this video, and you can do that by liking this video, sharing this video, dropping a comment. Remember, you can ask your question, you can bring a suggestion, ask, say anything, or you can appreciate the effort that has been put in place to make this tutorial. Okay, and remember, when you engage, when you share, like or comment, you give this video opportunity to go around, like you give others opportunity to watch this video, because the YouTube is going to take this video to more people and they will see it. So I was not attaching the sleeve, and I'm going to be hanging it on my mannequin. I'll wear it to the mannequin, and it's time for us to use our lace placement to achieve the upper part. So here it is on the mannequin, and I'm going to be using lace placement to achieve the upper part. I'm going to be placing the lace on the upper part, and we're going to be sewing it. So this is the lace I'm going to be using, and what I'm going to do is to place it on the upper part like this, ensuring that it is longer, like you have excess on the upper part, excess of at least half of an inch, 1 inch or 1.25. So that is what I did. So you see the way I place it, I have excess on the upper part and the down part. That is what you need. You need some excesses at the upper part and on the right part, on the down part. So what I'm going to do now is to start securing with my pins. Okay, so to make dresses or outfits using lace placement, my dear, you need enough pins. You need a lot of pins, because pins are, what is going to help the work to be less stressful. Okay, so I'm going to be pinning all the way, and pin helps you to see the look of the outfits before you start sewing, before you start making your final stitching, whether with hand or needle, machine, sorry. So I'll keep on pinning and pinning and pinning. I'm just going to secure every nook and cranny of it with my pins. Remember, this applies to the upper part of the front. The upper part of the back was sewn on the machine. So the upper part of this front, which is from the neck down to the back, we're going to be using lace placement to achieve it, but don't scare. Okay, don't be scared. If I can do it, you can do it as well. Trust me, before now I was a bit scared of heavily beaded fabric like this, using it for outfit, but after making this, honestly, there's no big deal, there's no issue with it, no issue at all. You can do it, give it a try. You don't have any reason to be scared. So I'll keep pinning, and I'm ensuring that I'm pushing all the excesses on the fabric, because as you pin, you will notice that the fabric is looking as if it's too much. Okay, it's having excesses here and there, so ensure that you push all the excesses on the side. You know, the side where we sew our side dart. Okay, the side where we sew our side dart, that should be like 1 inch or 1.5 inches below a bust point line, depending on what your side dart, the difference between your half length and uh the front half length and the back half length is different. So I keep pinning, and I'll keep pushing the excesses on the side. At the end, I am going to pin and stitch the excesses in a way that it will be, if you see it, you think that it's just a dart on the side. It will be looking so beautiful, so natural, and so well, you know, detailed. So that is what I'm doing. I'm securing all the lines with my pin. Please, you need generous, you know, amount of pin for this project. You have enough. If you have enough pins, you are good to go. You will not have much issue. So after pinning, I am going to trim off some excesses and style it just exactly as my client want it. Okay. So I am also going to drop the skirt part of the lace placement, because I didn't do everything once on this video, so that it doesn't become too long and boring. Okay, so I am still going to use lace placement on the skirt part, and I'm going to be dropping the tutorial as well, because I have promised you I am going to be dropping all of that, so that at the end you can be able to make something like this if you have the opportunity. Because I know so many people are so scared of this, especially when they have not given it a try for the first time. But I'm a living witness, and I'm here telling you that it's not as difficult as you think. If I can do it, you can do it too, even more better. So it is going to end with this upper part, and I'll drop a tutorial on the skirt part of the lace placement. Do well to check it, do well to check back, and do well to subscribe if you have not done so. Also hit the notification bell so that any tutorial I drop, you get notified. Remember to also engage. Okay, so this is it, and at this point is only pin that is holding it though. I'm yet to sew. So you see the sides, I pin it and place the fabric in a way that is looking like that on the side. It's looking so natural, so cute, like it doesn't tell otherwise. It looks so fine, and it look everything so professional. So as you can see, it's just needle that is holding it down. I'm yet to sew, and I'm going to be using this curve needle. This curve needle is just what you need for this job, and it's not expensive. It's very affordable. It comes in a pack, you know, according to sizes. I think it's about 4 pieces inside, different sizes. So get it, okay, so that it will make this work way very easy for you. Okay, give this a try. If you like this video, please drop a comment for me, and don't forget to ask questions if you have any. So I am looking forward to seeing you when I'll be dropping the lace placement on the skirt part. You know you don't want to miss that, right? So until then, do take care of yourself, stay safe, and stay blessed. Bye.